This is News Channel 5.
New information tonight about a deadly shooting outside a local church on Easter. Tonight, a man is in custody accused of gunning down his father in front of parishioners. A peaceful Easter celebration ended in a deadly display of violence on church steps this afternoon. And now we're learning what happened. The shooting happened at a church on Hiawatha Street in Ashtabula, where News Channel 5's Stephanie Ramirez spoke with relatives of the victims.
He was a loving man. He didn't deserve to die.
Tears on what should have been a happy Easter day.
I am his girlfriend. We've lived together for 26 years.
It was all family could do after witnesses say a gunman, the son of a former church member, walked up to his father and shot him in the head here at the Hiawatha Church of God in Christ Sunday in Ashtabula. Easter service had just ended here. Church members were on their way out when police say the victim was approached by the gunman. The church said to be packed with adults and children.
It's not something you expect on a religious holiday, and it's sad. It's very unfortunate, and of course our hearts go out to the families and everybody that had to be here today and experience this. It's a terrible thing.
Talking to reporters, Ashtabula police withheld the names of the victim and suspect, but say there was a verbal argument between the two. And after the suspect fired his handgun, an associate pastor then says the suspect went inside the church.
I could hear the assailant talking, yelling. He had come in the sanctuary and was standing in the pulpit, and I didn't know if he was going to be doing like a hostage situation or just start shooting people.
Police say when they entered the church, the suspect put down his gun as ordered and was arrested without a fight. The reason as to why, now under investigation. Thankfully, police say no one else was injured. On your side in Ashtabula, Stephanie Ramirez, News Channel 5.
New at 11, the Kent State community is mourning the loss of a student. We learned he died early today after a car accident. Kent's paper, Kent Wired, identifies the victim as senior accounting major Joseph Marino, called JJ. He was in an accident on I-65 in Alabama yesterday. Life Flight had flown him to a hospital, but he died. 4 other Kent students were injured. They were returning from spring break when a collision caused their vehicle to roll over. We also learned tonight that a local high school softball team narrowly avoided a road disaster. We confirmed tonight that the Medina School softball team was on a bus involved in a massive 95-car pileup in Virginia. At least 3 people were killed in the crash earlier today. 25 people were injured, none of them local students. The Medina softball coach told us no one on the bus was injured and the bus had minor damage. The girls were on their way to a game in South Carolina when the pileup happened. Authorities say fog is to blame. A woman was shot and killed at an IHOP restaurant, and Cleveland Heights police are still trying to figure out what happened. Now, the victim's father is speaking out, making some pretty serious allegations. He says his daughter is the victim of a hate crime, saying the argument that led to her death started because she was gay. This is Nadia Williams. She was 25 and killed after police say she was accidentally shot outside an IHOP in Cleveland Heights. Her father, Jim Lee Williams, says he was told by his other daughter, who was there, a very different story in how Nadia died.
She said, Daddy, they shot Nadia. He shot Nadia in the head.
The Cleveland Heights police say Nadia and some other women got into a heated argument inside the restaurant. When the security guard hired by IHOP escorted the ladies out, an altercation occurred, which knocked him to the ground and his gun discharged, killing the 25-year-old. But Nadia's father says the altercation started inside with women making fun of his daughters because they are gay. He feels the security guard took the side of the other women, making light of his daughter's sexuality.
So the security officer escorted them out the door, and while he's escorting them out the door, he grabs Molly, which is a girl, and starts choking her. He's a big guy. The security officer started choking her. So my daughter's like, hey, that's a girl you choking. And he said, I don't give a okay, he said the word, and then he pulls his gun out and he shoots my daughter directly through the temple. And then he put the gun right down on Molly's neck, and then they continue pulling him, and he take the gun out and put it back in his holster.
Again, police are doing interviews and have not confirmed that this is how the shooting happened. The father says there is a witness who was there and have told police the exact same story his daughter told him. All right, his other daughter, Natasha, is still in jail. When we called police to see what she is charged with, they said, quote, the matter is under investigation and she is still being held for questioning. All right, with a new work week starting off, Chief Meteorologist Mark Johnson is tracking your forecast. We're looking at a cool down, I think?
Well, it's a new month too there, and yes, the cooler weather is coming back in, unfortunately, and we are tracking some rain right now, a chilly rain on the Power of 5 Live Doppler network. Take a look though up to our north and west. That is a line of light snow showers. That's the second cold front that'll be visiting us tomorrow during the day. Here we go. Current temps still mild, 49 Cleveland, 47 Akron, 48 degrees Dover, New Philly, but by the time you get up tomorrow morning, take a look at where you'll be. Look at the morning planner. Isolated snow showers, 32, right around the freezing mark, 34 at 9 a.m. and not much of a warm up by lunchtime. Some isolated snow, 36 degrees. I'll tell you how long the cold air is going to last and if we're in for a warm up over the next 7 days, all when we come back in a couple of minutes. Mike?
All right, look forward to it. Millions of people around the world and thousands across Northeast Ohio celebrated the Easter holiday today. Pope Francis held his first Easter Mass as head of the Catholic Church, speaking only Italian today. He prayed for peace in the Mideast and around the world. The Pope also denounced greed as a problem in the world. More than 250,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square. Bishop Richard Lennon on the Cleveland Catholic Diocese held his Easter Mass at St. John Cathedral in downtown Cleveland this morning. Hundreds of people gathered there for the occasion as the church emphasized the lessons of Jesus Christ. A church spokesperson said Pope Francis also demonstrates the humility of Jesus Christ. This wraps up Holy Week. The church has been holding events since last Sunday. All right, the holiday also served as an opportunity to help those less fortunate. St. Augustine Church in Cleveland's Tremont neighborhood held its annual Easter meal today. The Hunger Center opened its doors to thousands of people all day long, more than 700 people for breakfast alone and hundreds more for lunch and dinner. The church also delivered food to more than 4,900 families. While most spent Easter Sunday at home with loved ones, one Summit County woman and her family spent the day at the Cleveland Clinic boosting the spirits of leukemia patients who could not be home for Easter. Newschannel 5's Bob Finner shares her reason for reaching out.
As a senior at Springfield High School 3 years ago, Brooke Hedrick of Akron felt under the weather.
I had a cold and it just wouldn't go away.
After going to the doctor, Brooke was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia.
I was in complete shock, just as anyone else would, and you always think it will never be me, I'll never get cancer.
Brooke underwent 5 weeks of chemotherapy at the Cleveland Clinic. She spent Easter of 2010 in the hospital.
I was kind of bummed when Easter came around, I wasn't able to be home with my family and have dinner and go on Easter egg hunts.
Brooke decided that when she got out of the hospital, she wanted to do something for future patients who could not be home for Easter. The idea Brooke and her family came up with? Battle bags with treats inside and dang it dolls.
You have to have a little bit of humor, and it helps the days go by quicker. So this little doll has a little poem on it, and it just talks about when you can't handle it and life's getting tough, you just hold up this doll and yell, dang it, dang it, dang it. Hi, my name is Brooke. Nice to meet you guys.
Brooke and her family passed out battle bags and dang it dolls to leukemia patients at Cleveland Clinic today to help families deal with the stress and frustration of a cancer diagnosis.
This is awesome. You really need stuff like this to keep you going through these days.
We want to encourage people just like I was encouraged. And this time of year is all about life, spring and Easter. And so just because you're in the hospital doesn't mean you can't celebrate life.
On your site in Cleveland, Bob Fenner, News Channel 5.
All right, Brooke's leukemia is in remission. This is her 3rd year passing out the dolls. She's studying psychology at Walsh University, wants to be a counselor for cancer patients. All right, Easter may be over, but another big celebration takes place in Cleveland tomorrow. It's called Dingus Day, and it's Polish and Eastern European tradition dating back hundreds of years, marking the end of Lent, always following Easter. The biggest celebration takes place on Cleveland's west side, where several bars and restaurants in Tremont and the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood are planning a lineup of Polish food and polka dancing, as well as a parade. We have a list of events on newsnet5.com. Still ahead, a lasting legacy, the torching discovery we made at Eggshellin today about its lasting impact on families as the Easter display says farewell. Getting a good deal, how to know what your car is worth when you go to a dealer to trade it in, and prosecutors targeted the new information surfacing after a district attorney and his wife were executed in their home, and how it could be related to another case.